Okay, good morning. Now I'll study about temperature stresses in compound bars. So what is a compound bar or a composite bar? It is a bar consisting of two or more materials. So we have to study about the temperature stresses in compound bars. That is, what is the temperature stress developed in materials subjected to increase in temperature, and the bar will consist of two or more materials. Then it is known as a compound bar. When the temperature rises, the two materials of a compound bar experience different free expansions. Okay, a compound bar is a bar consisting of two or more materials. When the temperature rises, the two materials of a compound bar experience different free expansions. Since it is made up of different materials, alpha will be different. That is, the coefficient of thermal expansion will be different. Since they are prevented from separating, that is, the compound bars will be kept like this. If you have two materials like this, you have seen the compound bars, and they will be fixed like this. For example, concrete, you have cement and cement, sand, fine aggregate and coarse aggregate, which forms the plain cement concrete, and also the reinforcement bars. So there will be fixed tied rigidly. Okay, since they are prevented from separating, there will not be any separation. The two materials will have common position, which is possible only by development of stresses. Since they are prevented, for example, in concrete, reinforcement concrete, you can see concrete with reinforcement bars, and these materials are prevented from separation. Okay, so which is possible only by the development of stresses. So in this topic, we are interested in finding out the stresses which are developed since they are prevented from separating. When there is increase in temperature, the common position will be possible only by the development of stresses. And in this article, we are interested in finding out such stresses. Okay, now here you consider a compound bar of length L. Actually these are kept together, so in order to learn in detail, I have separated this. So you have two bars, bar 1 and bar 2, which forms a compound bar. Let L be the length of this bar. Let the rise in temperature be T. L is length of the bar is L. Length of the bar equal to L, and rise in temperature equal to T. Okay, let alpha 1 and alpha 2 be the coefficients of thermal expansions, and E1 and E2 be the Young's modulus of elasticities, that is moduli of the two materials. And here alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. Okay, so you consider a compound bar consisting of two different materials, bar 1 and bar 2. Actually these are kept together, and let the length of the bar be capital L. Let the length of the bar be capital L. So the rise in temperature is small t. Let alpha 1 and alpha 2 be the coefficient of thermal expansions, and Young's modulus of elasticities be E1 and E2. Now here alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. Okay. Now if the free expansion is allowed, what will be the free expansion of bar 1? Alpha 1 is its coefficient of expansion, T is the increase in temperature, and L is the length. So if free expansion is allowed, then the free expansion of bar 1 will be equal to alpha 1 into T into L. That is, it is not prevented from expanding and it is free to expand. It will expand to a distance equal to alpha 1 into T into L, and This bar is also free to expand. It is not prevented by any support. It is not fixed. It is free to expand. This will expand for a distance equal to alpha 2 into t into L. Here alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. That is why this is expanding for more length than bar 2. That is alpha 1 into t into L is greater than alpha 2 into t into L, because alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. So here you can write the free expansion of bar 1 equal to alpha 1 into t into L. Alpha 1 into t into L, and free expansion of bar 2 is equal to alpha 2 into t into L. Since alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, and in actual case these are held together, the position of the two bars, if free expansions are permitted, are at AA and BB. That is, since alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, this will expand more, and the position of the two bars, the first bar, the position will be at AA if free expansion is permitted, and position of bar 2 will be at BB if free expansion is permitted. Okay. Now since the two bars are rigidly secured at the ends, that is, the two bars are rigidly secured at the ends, the position of the bars will be somewhere in between AA and BB. These two bars are held together, they act as a compound bar, and since their positions are the bars are rigidly secured at the ends, the position of the bars will be somewhere in between BB and AA. Okay, that is, this will have to expand more by this distance, and this will have to contract this much distance. So to secure this position, the compressive force P1 will act in bar 1, and so as to produce a shortening of delta 1, and a tensile force P2 will act in bar 2 in order to produce this. P2 will be a tensile force which will act in bar 2 to produce an extension of delta 2 in bar 2. Okay, now it is said that these are parts of a compound bar, and these two bars are held rigidly secured at the ends, and since the two bars are rigidly secured at the ends, the position of the bars will be somewhere in between, that is, it may be in between BB and AA, that is, maybe at CC. So to secure this position, compressive force P1 will act in bar 1 so as to produce a shortening of this much length, so as to produce a shortening of delta 1, and so as to produce a shortening of delta 1, and a tensile force P2 will act in bar 2 to produce an extension of delta 2 in bar 2. Okay, now here these two bars are rigidly secured at the ends. These two bars are rigidly secured at the ends, so that this acts as a compound bar, and hence after the application of this increase in temperature, the position of the bars will be somewhere in between AA and BB, that is at CC. To secure this position, compressive force P1 will act in bar 1 so as to produce a shortening of delta 1, and a tensile force P2 will act in bar 2 so as to produce an extension of delta 2 in bar 2. So what is the equilibrium condition? The equilibrium condition is P1 should be equal to P2. Okay, P1 should be equal to P2, which let it be equal to P. Okay, and from the figure it is clear that, you can write from figure, it is clear that alpha 2 into T into L plus delta 2 is equal to alpha 1 into T into L minus delta 1. Okay, here you can see from the figure, this alpha 2 into T into L plus delta 2 should be equal to alpha 2 into T into L minus alpha 2 into T into L minus this delta 1. Okay, so what is the condition? You have got the condition as equal to so from figure it is clear that is this much length is equal to this much length. These two are same, isn't it? That is, what is this much length? This is equal to alpha 2 into T into L plus delta 2, and that should be equal to alpha 1 into T into L minus delta 1. So this is one of the equilibrium conditions. And another equilibrium condition is to secure the position of the compound bar, the compressive force P1 acting on bar 1 should be equal to the tensile force P2 acting on bar 2. So we can write the equilibrium condition as equilibrium condition is equal to P1 must be equal to P2. So let us say this is equal to P. So the equilibrium condition is P1 equal to P2 and let it be equal to P. And from figure you can write this equation. So from equation 1 you can write delta 1 plus delta 2 equal to alpha 2 into T into L minus alpha delta 1 plus delta 2 equal to alpha 1 into T into L minus alpha 2 into T into L. So how can you write delta 1? Delta 1 is the contraction caused by this force P1 on this first bar. So you can write alpha 1 is delta 1 is equal to P1 into L, which is equal to P. P1 is actually, now we have seen P1 equal to P2. So we can directly write here P, that is PL by A1 into E1 plus PL by, that is for the second bar P2 is producing an expansion. Since P1 equal to P2 equal to P, this delta 2 can be written as P into L divided by A2 into E2 is equal to alpha 1 minus alpha 2 into T into L. Okay, so using this equation you can solve for problems involving compound bars which are subjected to tensile stresses. So what are the equations you can use for compound bars? You can use for compound bars delta 1 plus delta 2 is equal to alpha 2 So what are the equations you can use for compound bars subjected to tensile stresses? Delta 1 plus delta 2, delta 1 plus delta 2 is equal to alpha 1 into T into L minus alpha 2 into T into L, or you can write PL by A1 E1 plus PL by A2 E2 is equal to alpha 1 minus alpha 2 into T into L. Okay, where P is the force applied, L is the length of the bar, A1 is area of first bar, E1 is Young's modulus of first bar, and A2 and E2 are area and Young's modulus for the second bar respectively. Alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the coefficient of thermal expansions for first and second bars. Okay, thank you.